Hello, 8th grade. This is Mrs. Pancoke. Today we're going to be working on Lesson 8 on page 48. This is about Internet basics. And in this lesson, you will learn about networks and the Internet. We will learn about connecting to the Internet, explore the parts of a web browser window, and access and navigate web pages. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to talk about is networks. When one computer is linked to another computer, a network is created. A small network may have only a few computers. A large network can include thousands of computers. A network with computers located within a short distance, such as within the same school, is called a local area network, or LAN. A LAN network. When many LANs link to one another, a web of networks is created. The Internet is a web of computer networks that spans the earth. Files on the Internet are stored on powerful computers called servers. The Internet created new ways for people to communicate. People use Internet to research topics, exchange messages, buy and sell products, and promote organizations and ideas. Electronic mail, commonly called email, is a popular use of the Internet. Email is the electronic transfer of messages. Blogs and instant messages also are popular use of the Internet. A blog allows users to post messages for others to read. Blogs are usually organized around a particular topic, such as music or sports, and around people's lives. There are blogs for millions of different topics and people. Instant messaging allows users who are online to key text messages. The messages are displayed almost instantly for the person you are chatting with. Any part of the Internet is the World Wide Web. It is often called simply the web. The World Wide Web is a system of computers that can handle documents formatted in special language. The language that the Internet uses is called HTML, or Hypertext Markup Language. HTML documents called web pages can display text as well as graphics. They allow users let's see here. An important part of the Internet is the World Wide Web. Websites are created for many reasons. One reason is to sell products. Let's see. The selling and buying of products on the Internet is called e-commerce. Billions of dollars worth of products are sold each year through e-commerce. Also note that when you have a web page and there are many web pages and it's a group, it's often then referred to as a website. Websites are also used by people, companies, governments, and other groups to provide information. For example, you can access a website provided by the White House. On this site, you can find articles and current news events related to the U.S. President. You also find information about our government, the latest news and updates, and you can blog on current events. Alrighty, moving on to page 50. So, the next part is talking about connecting to the Internet. Alright. To access the Internet from a home computer, you may need to set up an account with an Internet service provider. An Internet service provider is an ISP and is a company that provides customer connections to the Internet. AT&T, Verizon, CenturyLink, Comcast are popular examples of ISPs. Many schools provide ISP services through their LANs. In the past, most computers were connected to their networks by wires. This has limited us to how and where we can connect to the internet. Wireless internet connections now allow freedom of movement. Computers can be linked to the internet without wires through a device called an access point. The area around an access point is called a hotspot. With the proper equipment, you can connect to the internet when you are in a hotspot. Hotspots can be created in schools, restaurants, airports, hotels, and even in some public parks. Alrighty. Web browser. Parts of a web browser. A web browser is a program that lets you find and view web pages. Examples of web browsers are Internet Explorer, Chrome, or Google Chrome, Safari, and Firefox. It says, look at the Internet Explorer window and on figure 2.7. Okay, so this example that you see on my PowerPoint is an example of what Internet Explorer might look like. It says you will see a title bar, tabs, scroll bars, and control buttons like those you have learned about in other Windows programs. We also have a Chrome window. Let me pull up Google Chrome here. Okay, so we always have the address bar up here at the top, and that's where you type in your web address. In Google Chrome, this is actually also called an omnibar. Omnibar allows you to perform Google searches, so you don't have to type in a web address. You can actually just type in a Google search and it will find your information. Tabs, so if I were to click on these different tabs, we could have different programs open on the internet. There's scroll bars on the side. We always have a forward and a back button, and this is the reload or refresh button. On Google Chrome, you also have the option to add bookmarks on the bookmarks bar, which is one of my favorite features of Google Chrome. To add a bookmark bar, you just simply click on the star, and the star over here will allow you to save your items on the bar. Let's see. Let's see. Let's go back to the PowerPoint here. Web addresses. In Chapter 1, you learned to follow a path to locate a file on your computer. In a similar way, you must locate web pages you want to view. A Uniform Resource Locator, or URL, is an address for a website. So if I go back to Google Chrome, the URL is my address, and the address is what you will see in the address bar. It says that you can key a URL into the address bar of a web browser. After you key a URL and give the appropriate command, the browser will look for the address and display the website's web page. URLs contain domain names. For example, the domain name nasa.gov is part of the address for the National Aeronautics and Space Administration website. The .gov looks like this. At the end of a URL stands for government. Domain names can give you some insight into the purpose of sites you visit. For example, .edu it should be an educational website. .mil is referring to a military website. Organization, biz.com, probably the most common is .com, and .net, network provider, .us, country code for United States. Alright, and then there are other country codes like .ca is Canada, .mx for Mexico, .jp for Japan, .cn for China. Alrighty. So on page 52 you have an activity. In this activity you will use a URL to find the NASA welcome page. Instructions are given for Internet Explorer. If you have a different web browser, the directions will be similar. So we are not going to use Internet Explorer. We're going to go ahead and use Google Chrome when we're searching for our websites. So go ahead and start up Google Chrome. Make sure you're using the correct web browser. And we're going to click the address bar, and the current address should be highlighted. If it's not, click and drag over the address to select it. And we're going to replace this address with www.nasa.gov. Go ahead and tap enter. All right, NASA web page should show up. The characters http ... / will automatically be added to the beginning of the address. A welcome page similar to the one in the picture should show up. It says use the scroll bar to move down the NASA welcome page. Okay, and then take a moment to look around and kind of see what the topics are talking about here. New Horizons, a colorful landing on Pluto, Pluto global color maps, kind of interesting. So next, step 5 says to visit another website, so we're going to go ahead and key in www.nasm.si.edu. Okay. Oh, what happened there? nasm.si.edu. Oh, there we go. So it should redirect us to the Air and Space. SI stands for Science and EDU is Educational in the address bar. The Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum welcome page should be displayed. Use the scroll bar and examine the welcome page. Click the close button on the browser to close Internet Explorer, or in our case, Google Chrome. Alright, so kind of look around. It's kind of interesting. The life of Lunar Module 2. Remembering Captain Eugene Kernan. Astronomy clubs offer telescope clinics. Huh, interesting. Presidents in flight. That might be kind of cool. Huh. Fascinating. Okay. It says to click the close button on the browser window and close Internet Explorer. Okay, on page 53, it's going to talk a little bit about hyperlinks. Alright, many web pages have hyperlinks. A hyperlink can be text, a button, or a graphic. When you click a hyperlink, you are taken to a new location. Not all of the pictures or words on a web page are hyperlinks. You can find a hyperlink. How can you find a hyperlink on a web page? Simply move the pointer, usually an arrow, around the page with your mouse, finger, or digital pen. When the pointer changes to a hand with a pointing finger, such as this picture right here, you'll see the hand with a pointing finger, that usually means that that is a link, okay, or a hyperlink. When you click a hyperlink, the browser moves to a new location. If you want to return to the previous page, you would click the back arrow. So for instance, like if I open up our school website, there could be a hyperlink right here. So notice my finger changed to the pointing arrow. If I click on it, it'll take me to this PDF document. All right. If I want to go back, I could simply click the back arrow or click on back on the tab. Alrighty. So it tells us to log in to internet and start. We're going to use Google Chrome. I'm going to close out of that. And it tells us to key in msn.com. Okay, and move the mouse pointer around the welcome page. Watch the pointer become pointer finger if it passes over a hyperlink. So there's lots of hyperlinks on this page, as you can see. All right. Let's see. Click a hyperlink such as entertainment. Quickly scan the new page, and then we're going to click the back arrow. This will take you back to the previous page. Click the forward button. That'll take you back to the entertainment page. And then it says to click the home button. On Google Chrome, we don't actually have a home button, but we can go back here. Okay, and then it says click the close button on the browser to close Internet Explorer. All right, and we are done.